Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
In the spirit.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Dazzle.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Bad Rider!
Virtus Pro's turn to pick. Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Dire team ban.
And we're back for our 5th match of 6 on the day for StarLadder Europe as we rush towards the climax, the close of the group stages and the land finals, which are now imminent. Soon, most of the world's best Dota teams will travel to Kiev, where over 200,000 US dollars in prize money awaits them. The biggest Dota 2 tournament in the West outside of the International to date. On the Dire side, we have Cloud9, and on the Radiant side, we have Virtus Pro. We actually could probably take a look at our standings here in a minute, see how the teams are faring thus far, but both teams, I think Cloud9 definitely still in the running for the playoffs. They are 9-3, and as for Virtus Pro, 8-5. I don't know if they can qualify with 8-5, but they're definitely not in control of their own destiny. They need to count on some of these teams near the top to start dropping games. So, hey, give Cloud9 a loss here. They make it a little bit easier. But that being said, we'll go back to the draft and look at how things are progressing. Ben? Of course, I've been blabbering on here, but I'm LDB on the summit. I'm joined by Ben, Merlini Wu. How you doing, Mr. Wu? Commissioner Wu?
Looking at the heads-up matchup, 4-1, Cloud9 versus VP. VP, one of the most inconsistent teams as far. They're like the quintessential CIS team, I'd say.
Yeah. And VP, Ember Spirit, Visage so far. Drow Ranger actually gets the ban from Cloud9. Now the Drow Visage combo is strong, but that's such a
Cloud9's known for running it.
That's such a ridiculously greedy opening to run Visage, Ember, Drow. Oh man, like you have no crowd, like no real crowd control.
10 seconds
Very
remaining.
limited initiation power. It doesn't seem like many teams are running multiple like semi-hard carries like
Virtus
that. Like,
Pro's turn
Third
to
pick,
pick.
Morphling.
oh man. Well, Drought Silence decent against Morphling, I suppose, and oh boy. This could-
Morphling's nice without any lockdown. Like, you can bolus him, but that's it. Maybe
yeah, he
Visage
can just
Stunts.
wave out, he can replicate out,
He can morph.
he can morph.
He can do a lot of stuff. He can kill people.
And he's also probably one of the better carries against Ember, just because he's got a lot of nuke burst damage, he's very
10
mobile.
seconds remaining.
He can win the man fight, generally speaking.
5 seconds
And he has good
remaining.
mobility, too. Like, you can chase him through one fire remnant very easily.
Yeah, and his armor is
Reserve time.
so ridiculously high late game that, I mean, if Ember gets a cleave onto you, then you're still in trouble, but a direct hit is generally not going to dent your watery armor. Such as it is.
Such as it is. And Dazzle's really nice, too, with that weave. They don't really have that much lockdown, but tons of physical damage versus Ember Spirit. And Batrider's also very good versus Ember Spirit. The Blink Lasso, if you don't have anything to save him, if you don't have a good counter initiate like a Tidehunter or a Mag, or even like a Dazzle with a Shallow Grave, then Ember's gonna die a lot if he gets his early Blink Dagger, which Bone 7 usually does.
Yeah, Cloud9 very mobile draft so far, pretty strong defensively. The Grave and the elusiveness of Batrider plus Morphling. VP just like lockdown in general. I feel like they need some sort of like Doom would have been great, but they banned it. Well, they get some with Centaur here. Some
Dire
good
team
magical
pick.
burst.
This is only Eternal Envy's 8th game on Ember.
Wow.
I feel like he plays, or no, sorry, not Ember, Morphling.
He plays it a lot in pubs, but I guess hasn't played it that much in actual competitive games.
Yeah, I suppose not. I feel like every time I see Cloud9, it's usually Morphling or I guess Dry Ranger not as popular, but they pick Morphling a lot. I guess teams ban it out generally in the second phase versus them
10
too.
seconds remaining.
Centaur for VP, pretty standard offlaner pick at this point. Cloud9 already have their
5
offlaner, they have their
seconds
carry.
remaining.
What is Sing Sing gonna play? Mirana still out there? Do you think
Reserve
we see a
time.
Mirana this game?
I'm trying to, first off, I'm trying to think of whether or not they're going to put Morphling mid versus Ember. I've seen them do it before, especially with a dual lane. But then what would Sing Sing play? Mirana's like, she's okay. I'm surprised they didn't actually pick her up first. But if they're not going to pick her up first, I think they're just going to give Sing Sing like a standard solo. Tinker's been gaining a lot of traction recently.
TA. Okay,
Virtus
well,
Pro's
Ooh,
turn
TA
to
versus
pick.
Ember, that's not actually the greatest matchup for TA.
Flame Guard makes that refraction quite useless.
Yeah, and Bolus is damage and ticks too. So
Does Bolus hit Invis units?
no,
Okay.
Dire team
So you
bad.
could, I guess, in theory, dodge it with Meld, but
that's so hard. It's like instant cast.
yeah.
But it'd be
I guess if you see him running up to you and you're in trouble, maybe. But VP go OD, so they'll give the Ember the safe lane. Looks like they'll just take the OD versus TA matchup, which
10
is
seconds
pretty good for
remaining.
OD.
yeah, it's not terrible for TA.
Yeah, mana cost of
5
refraction is
seconds remaining.
not that high.
100. It's a fair amount for an agility hero.
Yeah.
Virtus
Monochrome, though.
Pro's turn
Monochrome
to
solves
ban.
every problem you'll ever have.
Yeah. And maybe just max Meld and use Meld to last hit.
Max side blades, easy harass OD. Max
Yeah, but
range.
no damage though. That's no good. Disruptor's the ban here. So Cloud9 remove just a
10
kind of a
seconds remaining.
good utility support here. Someone that can catch Morphling when he's trying to split push,
5
that can punish
seconds
the
remaining.
cancel out the Batrider initiation. Just a good support against mobile drafts,
Reserve
and that's what
time.
Cloud9 have for themselves here.
Mhm.
But this does mark a bit of a departure for Cloud9. Generally, they pick Sing Sing
Dire
more
team pick.
of a tempo controller, less of a damage dealer. Mirana kind of in the middle, I guess, but much more tempo control early to mid game than TA, who needs to farm, get her items up. And we've seen a lot of Alchemists for Sing Sing as well, but this marks more of a true dual core, something Cloud9 have not been doing as much of lately. So let's see how it works out. Crystal made
I like TA a
Virtus
lot.
Pro's
She
turn to
has
pick.
very good physical burst versus Ember too. If you lock him down in a Batrider lasso, he is just dead to rights. Morphling, like if he gets flame guard off before, you might not be able to kill him before he remnants, but with TA, almost certainly.
Crystal Maiden is the final pick, so a support that can go to the woods, get her levels early, also stack the jungle for the Batrider. Decent ganker. They are pretty mana intensive, and VP just not the X. He's got a nice beard here as well. Is that the new model, I guess, or is that like a custom?
I think it's a new model.
Yeah, he's gotten a facial hair.
It looks like
redo.
he's from the 80s.
I like the tiny little goatee and just like the gigantic beard on the side.
He could be a rock star.
Yeah. Well, he's certainly got the flair with the red skin. So whenever you see Axe, you just kind of think aggressive, maybe tri-lane. Maybe we just see some. I mean, who's going? I guess Jungle Axe, maybe.
That'll be Jungle Axe. It's too risky to do.
Well, they just don't have the right heroes for it either. Like,
yeah, they need
Centaur
a healer.
Axe lane.
Axe is, I don't know. Axe is strange. He's not terribly great versus Morphling.
He's really annoying for TA though.
Yeah, he's really annoying for
5
TA, but there are so many other TA counters like Venomancer, let's say. Venomancer would be really good.
But Veno can't really jungle.
Yeah, but they can
early on.
She can stack Ancients. It's more of a jungler than many of the other supports that aren't like hard junglers.
True. Well, I like Battle Hunger versus Refraction. Berserker's Call can pull TA out of that. Gives them also just a lot more.
I think it's a solo mid Ember.
Safe lane TA? Or, sorry, safe lane OD.
I suppose so, yeah.
Against Batrider offlane. We'll be in.
It'll be interesting.
I mean, VP's lineup does go pretty damn late. Like, Cloud9 are generally known for trying to take games late, but I think VP are fine there. They've got really good late game lockdown, tons of burst damage. Cloud9 are good late game too, but I think you have one hero this game who's going to fall off. That's the CM, so I give VP like the 5v4 advantage if this goes 40, 50 minutes plus. Watch me say that, and then we'll see like the biggest crystal maiden of your life win the game. Just to make me look like I have no idea what I'm talking about.
OD's okay versus Morph. I guess you can actually kill the replicate very easily with Arcane Orb. But aside from that, I mean, Shotgun is just so damn potent later. But OD, yeah, I would say that our late games is slightly favors VP, but
I just think they have the much better lockdown. Cloud9 have Lasso. VP have the Centaur Stampede Familiars, probably the late game Scythe on Illidan, and the Blink Call on Axe. That is a lot of late game disable.
that's an ugly ass Axe set. Oh my goodness. That is ugly. That's atrocious.
It's a derpy Axe set.
He does not look like a man. He can't hide.
He looks like a man, but he's just like a hidden man.
He's about to repair your towers. That's what he looks like he's about to do.
Alright, well, let's introduce our teams now. Bone 7 on the dire side, playing for Cloud9, 9-3, and if they win out, will go to Kiev. He'll be on your Batrider. Saint, your solo mid-Templar Assassin, pulled rather heavily, starting with the early Wraith Band, AUI 2000, on the Jungle CM. And yeah, it's Eternal Envy. Yes, it's an Eternal Envy name. Once again, we get it. You like anime, man. Message received on the Morphling. Pylai Die, you're dazzling. Then on the Radiant side, like you said, maybe one of the most classic CIS teams. Virtus Pro, Arsart going to be playing your off-lane Centaur. G, who needs to play like a G if they want to win on the Ember Spirit. Jottam will be playing your Visage. Illidan on the OD, and that leaves NS as the Jungle Axe. One of the more important camps here has been warded.
That's a smart ward
battle
placement.
begins.
It's very unlikely to get dewarded because when this camp is blocked, you usually expect the ward to be right up here, so it sees the rune. But this ward, it sees the rune, it's very unlikely to be dewarded, and it still blocks a camp. So, it's pretty smart.
Yeah, and they're not going to be looking to deward this camp because it's not blocked, so...
Yeah.
Like, this is another fairly common
They'll probably
deward
like
spot.
sentry like up here and then expect the ward to be like in this area. That's what I would expect if I saw that camp blocked.
Yeah, should work out nicely for them. So, look at our lanes. Ember Spirit going for the Flame Guard build and laying the harass on the Sing Sing early on. Has started Stout Shield and has been pulled as well. Should be a decent lane for the Ember. Even though he's got that really low armor, should still get his farm on, and he has a little potential to kill the TA.
Yeah. TA, her refraction charges aren't going to stay on at all.
So I guess we'll just see like probably just even 1 point Sleight of Fist, just max the Flame Guard and level up the Searing Chains. I haven't seen this matchup before.
It'd be 1-1-5 or 1-1-3 rather. Yeah, the Flame Guard will stay on. She has no way to get rid of it, so it's really good at dealing with refraction. I think the damage, I don't know how fast it deals it.
It's pretty fast.
It's definitely not 1 per second.
Well, but what else will Cloud9 be up to? It looks like jungling for AUI 2000 already hits level 2. He'll take that early point in Arcane Aura, something that the Bat Rider will appreciate, the Morphling definitely will appreciate, and the rest of the team won't mind.
Even for TA.
Yeah. Well, I guess the good news is at least Sing Sing can use Refraction. He's not up against the OD. So he won't be constantly out of mana.
How's the CS war going to mid? 6 and 5. Very even.
Yeah, but Sing Sing Raki at the deny. It's not that it matters too much against melee here. Now G going aggressive, but Sing Sing has the Refraction charge ready. And when that Flame Guard's down, G does not want to be trading blows because he will not match the damage output of the TA.
Yeah, he can just kite around though. You can Sleight of Fist dodge a Meld Strike and use Searing Chains and just run slightly out of range, etc. So it's like whenever you talk about what Ember can do in a matchup, it's like, well, let's list like 10 different things that he can do. Yeah, he can do a lot.
Yeah, he definitely can.
Ember's ridiculous.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, Bone 7 just being a nuisance here is contesting a bit, and NS will come in. So Sing Sing is getting a pretty crappy lane. Bolas will come out. They don't have a point Berserker's Call yet, but just the right clicks. This Refraction does absolutely nothing. Squat for him. He'll burn down. The Bash Pros are just going to melt him. The orange man and the red man kill the little lady.
I didn't look at the odds for this match.
Back to the well.
77-23. That's about right.
I would have said it's pretty VP slated. Maybe more like 70-30, but
yeah.
I mean, that's nitpicking. Or not VP, sorry, Cloud9.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would not have said it's VP slated. But hey, maybe they take it.
Maybe they do. And if Cloud9 loses this, how are their playoff contentions?
9 and 4 at that point.
That's...
I don't know if they can... Then it might even come down to a tie with Alliance, who are 11 and 4, and do they actually
Cloud9 beat Alliance, right? Yeah, Cloud9... Yeah.
Oh, maybe... See, that's what I'm saying, is maybe Alliance actually doesn't make it.
That's scary.
They're not in a comfortable spot. Alliance is just sitting there like, alright, everybody lose a few more games. Like, nobody win out. Bolas will come on Saint Saint, and the Axe is right back. Axe attacks. Ember's here too. Saint Saint just begging for a TP scroll, but the Sleight of Fist damage comes through. And with this stinking Battle Hunger, they just cannot stop the dive.
I like the rotation from NS though. I think if he just straight up jungled, it'd be much less effective than him killing Sing Sing in mid. And not only... I mean, it's TA. TA with 2 early deaths, she's going to be rather ineffective in the mid game.
Yeah, this hero is not the best comeback hero in general. Even if you compare it to other like farming solo mids like a Shadow Fiend, she's not going to flash farm as quickly. Yeah, and she's a little bit more dependent on the early snowball.
The Flame Guard build is really good versus TA though. I'd say even in a strict one-on-one matchup, it's not that TA has like the...
Oh, gee. Going for the solo kill on Bone 7. I think he'll get him. Just has to keep on following him. Follow the flames. That's to a kill they'll lead you. He might die, but he remnants. Oh, he doesn't have the mana for the remnant. Very low. Can't get up. Meanwhile, Axe attacks, Arsart attacks, all the Bash Bros come in mid. The Beefcakes descend, and
the mechanic is owning.
The mechanic is owning.
He does not like he's gonna like dunk.
Dude, this is a mechanic that you don't negotiate on that bill.
He did drop his remnant, so it means he doesn't have to waste a TP scroll. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, he'll respawn in a second here, and he should have his bottle on the courier. Wait, no, he'll remnant back. Did he actually? Oh yeah, he did get his bottle. Is at the fountain. Dropped it at the well, and now comes right back on Sing Sing. And NS is here again. Sing Sing's like, team, please help me. What is going on? I'm getting tri-laned. Oh, and they just don't help him. There's just nothing for Sing Sing. Poor Sing Sing. Where is the help for Sing Sing? Sure, Heavy's getting free farm, but Jesus. Can they help? Like, would a Shallow Grave TP? He doesn't actually have a point in Shallow Grave.
Top tower is under
It's gone 2 and
heal would be decent. It's very slow damage.
Are fortified.
But
I'm a little surprised they haven't done anything to help.
Well, the Crystal Maiden came in and killed him. That's about it.
Yeah.
It's not.
I wouldn't really call that helping Sing Sing. That's more like securing some gold for yourself.
I mean, they have this ward right here. This is a pretty good ward. A lot of people favor the high ground, but I think the low ground is a little bit better because you can see more of this hill and more of their hill too.
Well, top lane the push comes, but the Centaur level 5 already and should be able to defend, getting close to his ultimate. G level 7, max flame guard, phase boots. Anytime that the axe comes mid, it's just a free kill. It really is. And they might find another free kill. Pylai die wandering through the river, but no, there's, like you said, there's the observer ward, so won't commit to it. looks pretty good for VP, Ben. Leading 5-1. Gold is actually not that favored, but that's considering Cloud9 got a tower, and VP did not, so...
Morphling's not going Midas? Is this for real?
Envy. What?
What?
Question mark?
What?
And OD is? Are they gonna get out Midas?
Oh, wow.
When has this ever happened to Cloud9? This will be a first. They won that MLG
Dire's
on
middle
MLG
tower
Columbus
is
just
under
on the
attack.
back of, like, out Midasing their opponents. I mean, good play as well, but they never get out Midased.
Axe is taking out a
today.
triple stack. Ouch.
And G is getting the gold. This is a fat Ember already. CS isn't that great, but with the 2-1 and 2 start, still getting his basic items up, and this is where G can look to just rotate around, create space while your OD is your true hard carry with the Midas, and can rush a Sight the Vice, can get tons of lockdown for heroes like Morphling. I would say TA, but it's done with mid. He's finally gone to the woods. Not that I blame the poor guy.
Bone 7's gone into the woods too.
Yeah, he's having a decent time bottom. He'll have a fairly fast Blink Dagger, and that's where they can look to kind of mount their comeback. Sure, it's been a bad start. They're not that far behind. Saint is still getting some farm in the woods and has his phase boots out now. Potentially, along with the bottle, so all things considered, he's done about as admirable job as you could possibly expect, given that he was tri-laned mid, gagged like 6 times by Axe. Speaking of the Axe, he's level 6.
Is under attack.
Do they just look to smoke and hunt this TA? Like, they've got to know the TA's in the woods, considering she has not shown her face.
I don't think
miss.
they need to because she's such a slow jungler
Dire's
that
bottom tower is under
it's
attack.
better off for them if TA is doing that rather than killing people.
No, Sing probably not looking to be aggressive for some time. Pilot Eyes the Haster in. Will Envy go back for a Midas?
Dire's middle tower
Or does
is
he just
under
go straight
attack.
Lincoln Sphere, I guess?
What does Lincoln's block here though? Almost nothing. Astral, Grave
Maybe
Kill, Soul
Hex,
Assumption?
Hex for OD, I guess, if he
Dire's
farms
middle
one.
tower.
But
Yeah,
He's
I think
under attack.
Manta's probably better. And I don't know, or just, he needs a stat item though before
Radiant's
shotgun.
top
maybe
tower
goes.
is under
Yeah,
attack.
I was gonna say maybe goes straight shotgun, but that leaves him very
Dire's middle
squishy.
tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
I suppose it's not that bad of a
Dire's
build. They don't have any
structures.
lockdown for him, so he can
Radiant's
get away
top
with it.
tower has
VP
fallen.
suddenly 5 heroes mid, well 4. They've got the OD bottom, but he wouldn't do much anyway here. They'll take down the tier 1 very early while Envy goes for the trade.
Dire's middle tower
He'll take a tier
has
2, but
fallen.
it is a tier 1 mid, so probably a fairly even trade overall.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Radiant's
That
top
tower is
tower is
very
under
unimportant
attack.
to VP.
Well, speaking of VP, have they been stacking at all for the Ember? They had the one big stack, but I think that's about it. Oh, there's another double stack here. They've done a good job. Considering how much time they spent ganking and pressuring mid, they've kept their jungle up. That's like 4 or 5 stacks that NS got off.
Yeah, and Cloud9 doesn't have any stacks.
And he's
for-
2-0 and 2
for
as
Bone
well.
7.
Great jungle axe performance. I don't know if you could ask for more to start the game. And now
Dire's
Cloud9
bottom
looks like they
tower
still don't
is
want to
under
fight
attack.
against VP, recognizing VP has really strong team fight. Batrider doesn't have Blink,
Radiant's middle
and
tower is under
Cloud9 just aren't
attack.
really well positioned to defend. Maybe the tier 2s, but definitely not the tier 1s. So they'll just let it go. The tier 1's gonna fall, and now G
Dire's
makes his
bottom
retreat,
tower
and it
has
looks like
fallen.
VP come out on top here.
Radiant's middle tower
They
is
take
under
the tower,
attack.
they get the Centaur Blink, they give nothing up, and suddenly smokes come out for both teams. Aggression incoming.
How's NS doing on his Blink set? Still 1,000 gold away. I think they really need that before they can put a lot of pressure out on TA and others. But Centaur Blink is a good start. Here they go, smoked up, but Axe has no mana.
Do they need it? They have Centaur ult as well.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's
just
definitely
nice.
something you want to go for, but I think they can find some kills
Oh,
without it.
Envy. I don't even know if they can kill him with this many people.
Meanwhile, Cloud9 making a smoke of their own. 3 head towards bottom. They want Illidan, who's going to stick around to use his Midas one more time. Does he TP out immediately? Oh,
Sing Sing might get caught.
well, Illidan might get caught as well. Sing Sing, looks like he'll be okay. Hides in the tree line and walks right back into him. Oh, the luck is on Cloud9.
Spend your gold!
TP'd out immediately. There's no crossbite here, and he doesn't get out.
That was real close.
Almost escapes. Didn't use his Midas. Didn't spend his gold. That's pretty costly.
Oh, there he goes. Straight mech.
So this just reinforces what it looked like VP wanted to do, which is
Dire's
just
middle tower
5
is
mana at
under
your
attack.
towers. Just keep on fighting. And Cloud9 are very weak at direct confrontations. Their team fight is...
Radiant's bottom tower
I mean, if
is
we saw
under
the
attack.
hexagon now, I didn't actually see it during the draft for that, but it's got to be like a 2 or a 3. Great pickoff potential, but not very good team fight.
Yeah, they have a decent
Radiant's
lineup for
bottom
stalling though.
tower is
That
under
Rider's so
attack.
good at ganking and creating space, but not if he dies right here.
7 might be an easy solo kill for D with the Centaur ult coming out, and now the chase. This is going to delay his Blink Dagger even more if he goes down. Soul Assumption, securing the kill. And Cloud9, as they so often do, will go for something a little sneaky. They'll try and Roche here. I don't know if VP know about this. Observer Ward is only over here. And Cloud9 are going to pull a fast one on them. They'll get this too with the Medallion, the Dazzle Heal. Well done for Cloud9. They needed something like this very badly.
Roshan has fallen
Yeah,
into
I
the
think that will
desert.
close the gold gap to just about even. It's pretty good.
Then in terms of towers, it's 1, 2,
It's even.
2 to 2. Yeah, it is
Well,
even.
a T2 for a T1, but it's even
Well,
enough.
gold-wise, it's pretty much even.
Yeah. Nice user replicate. Looks like he will be going Lincolns, even though it doesn't really block anything.
Yeah. And he's,
Before, I think Lincoln's is a buff. Does it buff anymore? Because the only reason I ask is because Axe dispels buffs upon Culling Blade cast. I don't know if it's actually blocked by Lincoln's anymore. I don't think so, but in Dota 1 it won't, though.
what you're saying, you don't think Linked Sphere blocks Culling Blade?
Right.
Really?
I don't think so. Axe dispels buffs upon Culling Blade cast, like Shallow Grave and whatnot. So I don't know. I think
Radiant's
Lincoln's
middle
is considered
tower is
under
under
that. I'm not completely sure though.
Well, if you cast it on someone, it is, right? But is it considered a buff if it's just a personal?
I don't know. That's the thing.
This is a question for K-pop.
It's not blocked. Oh, okay.
Alright. Well, the chop cuts through all then. It sounds like.
Dude, Axe Culling Blade goes through everything. Like borrow time doesn't matter.
Omni Knight ult even, I believe.
Shallow Grave, BKB, everything ties to the chop.
How much? Everything does it. How much Omni Knight ult gives you, like, what, thousands of armor or something insane, and
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Still, the axe is stronger. This is hardly even an axe though. This is like it's more of a sledgehammer.
Radiant's bottom tower
so
is under
ugly.
attack.
He looks like he makes weapons.
Brutal but effective.
He's a smith.
Looks like G will go back for a Battle Fury, and meanwhile, Cloud9 get a little farm time, but only a little. With the mech up and the VP Blink
But
Dagger.
they're trading
online.
towers though. That's the big thing.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
VP, just keep on pushing.
Dire
VP never get a tower
structures
without
are
losing something in
fortified.
turn. And VP is definitely ahead in terms of momentum
Dire's
and
top tower
And
is under
Xingtian's
attack.
caught up very
Radiant's
nicely.
bottom tower
Midas
has
up,
fallen.
5.5k net worth. Sure,
it's
he's
a
a bit
Midas
weaker
game
now.
though. They're not going to be fighting at all, so what's the point of not getting Midas?
Dire's
Yeah, they just
top
can't
tower
fight.
has
If they
fallen.
tried to team fight, they would just get crushed.
Yep.
VP, if the mech, they have the much bigger like AoE combo, way more burst damage at this stage of the game.
But at the same time, they do have the Midas on OD for backup in case this game does go very
Radiant's
late.
middle
I
tower
would like to
is
see
under
VP
attack.
try and force something soon though. They've got double blink, they went for an early mech on the OD.
But who do they force something on? Like, they might kill TA, but I think Morph will clean up, especially with the Aegis.
Yeah, maybe they wait for the Aegis to be done, but beyond that, you're just letting Cloud9 get back in the game. This is where their team is weakest, is while you're 5-manning, while you've got all your core items, and before the morph for the
Dire's
TA
top
can actually
tower
do
is
anything.
under attack.
But if you wait too
Radiant's
long,
bottom tower is
Oh,
under attack.
Morphling. He morphed down so he could get topped off with the Shallow Wave. He's all about that efficiency, man.
Envy Sama.
He's efficiency king.
AUI comes in from the
Dire's
side,
middle
and
tower
Cloud9
is
will look
under
to defend their
attack.
tier 2 mid.
Radiant's bottom
But
tower
like
is
you
under
said, there's
attack.
just no tower that goes untraded.
Radiant
Is there glyph
structures
available
are
for the
fortified.
Dire? There is not. Maybe this time they make it defense bottom.
They don't have a TP on Illidan, they don't have a TP on AA. The only one that can really go is NS or G, but
TP on top of the tower by the Ember Spirit. Pylai Dai could be in a lot of trouble. Is he going to TP
Radiant's
out?
bottom tower
Oh,
is
nope,
fallen.
just fighting it out. Now the Centaur gets popped and Pylai Dai will fall. Chop!
the chop. That's pretty fast Lincolns coming out on Morphling. One item down, EB to go.
That is a very fast Lincolns.
Yeah,
They do have quite a few towers.
and Roche. I mean, they've taken out 4 towers. I don't know how many last hits he's gotten, but it's been a lot.
I am just a little bit worried for VP, actually. Despite their great start.
It's because Ember doesn't have any items yet. Like, he still doesn't have his Battle Fury, and if they want to contest farm, they need his Battle Fury up ASAP so they can play the stacking and farming game if they so desire. But OD, he's not your best safe lane farmer, but when you're given this much space and you can get an early scythe, it is going to be pretty good.
How early will it be, though? Goes for the mech, the Midas, and
Well, I think
Cloud9 could also gank him soon, I feel. The Batrider Blink is out.
I think this should have been a Force and Scythe game in retrospect. Well, he bought it because...
Well, they found G in the river. Caught out, the lasso's there, and just nowhere to go. Did he have a spirit up? No, I didn't get to use one. Bad place to be, and space created now for the rest of the team to farm.
Yeah, slowly but surely C9 is gaining the advantage. They have very good trap placements around the map to scout out wherever VP is going to go. They've killed a very important hero in the Ember Spear before he bought his, before he bought out too, and C9 is just out efficienting them, if that's a verb.
Yeah, I think out Midasing is easier to say, but not always appropriate, I guess. There's your healing salve, casually deployed by Jadam as bait. That's my favorite Techie's bait, is just drop an item, like at level 1, while we're on the subject of baiting. And
well, you can't take them anymore, so you can only drop like the small ticket items.
yeah, you just drop like a salve or something, or even tangos.
As a reward.
Yeah, just it's like, hey man, come grab it. You walk up to pick up the item, boom, right in your face.
Tango shared on ground.
This looks good. Suddenly you walk into four landmines.
There is a casual healing salve. If only there were
that's what I was saying.
Yeah, why is it there? I remember it was on OD. He passed it to the Visage because he didn't have a slot for his Midas, and Visage just like, screw this, I don't need this. Garbage.
Radiant's
Speaking
middle
of,
tower is under attack.
well, they wanted them to turn Sing Sing into some refuse, but couldn't quite get there in time. We'll head towards bottom. AUI. Cloud9 are just good at keep away Dota. They've always been good at it, and they have not lost the touch. If they don't want to fight, one of the hardest teams in the world to pick a fight against.
Yeah. Especially against Morphling. Morphling is just... They draft for it, too.
Attack.
VP, the team that coined the phrase
Dire's
Rat
top
Dota,
tower is
probably
under
feeling
attack.
like this is a bit rodent-like.
It's very rodent-like.
I wanted to say rodential, but that's definitely not a word.
Dire's top tower is under
We can make it a
attack.
word.
I think it would be a good word. 18 minutes in, your score 7-3, guys. We've got one more match coming up after this one. This one's still very important. It's a bit slow right now, but Cloud9, 9-3, needing just to win out. Then they've guaranteed a trip to Kiev, guaranteed a slot at the LAN finals. If they lose, then they could potentially tie. They have the tiebreaker with Alliance, but will they have a tiebreaker with some of the other teams in the running? Hard to say as of yet. So they'll push through the top side. VP will. They are at the whims and mercy of other teams if they even have a shot, which they may well not. I'm not 100% sure. Ward gets dropped. Well, no, not dropped yet. Just hanging on to it now for NS, but Cloud9 farms the enemy wards. They will sacrifice the tier 2 tower for this, but Envy hard at work trying to siege the mid. Finally, they'll actually get an advantage out of the trade. A slight one, anyway.
It seems like this game's been going on much longer than 20 minutes, but we're only 19 minutes in. I was about to say, man, it's a super late battle period, but it's not, really.
I cast a 76-minute game earlier today, Ben, and that game felt shorter than this one just because there was so much action. It is a word? Rodential is a word. Wow. Thank you, K-Poptosis.
Wow.
This is why we pay in the big bucks. It's to make me look good. Huge bucks, he says. We need to mic him up as well one of these days, but Battle Fury's online. I just feel like this turning into a farm game. Sure, VP have a good late game lineup, but just not the way they planned for the game to go. Oh, they found outside. Well, that definitely wasn't planned. Pops the Centaur, nowhere for him to go.
Yeah, that's the thing about C9's lineup. They just get pickoffs with Bat. Slowly but surely, people will die. They'll be scared to farm out, and C9 has slowly regains map control because of that. And then all the meanwhile, they have Morphling split pushing, split farming, doing whatever he wants. He's closing in on that EV, 1,800 gold to his name. I'm still surprised he didn't go at Midas. Like, I'm very surprised.
For
E.
Dire's bottom
he'd
tower
like
is
probably
under
have an
attack.
E-Blade almost.
Dire's structures
Like
are
he'd probably be where he
fortified.
is with the Midas, so it should have paid off by now, because he could have had it, what, like 3-4 minutes?
Yeah.
It's 20 minutes in, so would have almost paid for itself, if not already. G will go in with the Sleight of Fist here, decent damage to the wave, and Illidan, he needs to use his Midas, get some value, there we go. Value secured. While Bone 7 waits, he does not have a
Radiant's
lasso,
top
and
tower
knowing this,
is
VP
under
are feeling a
attack.
little more confident about the push. But only for so long. Now they drop their familiar, Sing Sing will look to farm them, and they get resummoned. Don't want to give any extra gold. With no Arsart, VP don't want to force it.
Same thing with Dezo. So now he does tons of damage. He can easily blow up Ember. Ember only has 5 armor.
This is where TA seems like a pretty good matchup for Ember in later on in the game, is just having that insane burst. Sure, he's elusive, but all you need is one good melt strike, and that's probably 3/4 of his health.
Yep. And they don't really have anything to keep him alive. No, like, Dazzle heal, no...
They have Astral. Astral
plus
Imprisonment.
armor. Yeah, Astral's good.
That's about it, though. And OD is not the most mobile hero, especially with no Force Staff.
Yep.
So will he be where the Ember needs him to be? Hard to say. Double damager in bottom.
He needs the deeps.
They need to just... they have good initiation. It's just Bat is better.
Yeah, that's why I say, like, Bat is really good. I think he should be first pick material most games.
He's often ignored lately, or just picked up much later on in the draft. Maybe he gets banned in the second stage, but...
He's so good at, like, a lot of different types of games, though. Like, split push and farming, he's really good at, because he's so good at finding ganks. He's very good at aggressive Dota, too.
He's good at turtle Dota, because if you try to break base against Lasso, you can easily give up kills.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, just versatile. Na'Vi like him, they've been picking him quite often, not first
Dire's
overall pick,
bottom
but
tower is under attack.
first/second.
He should be in the first
Dire's
phase.
bottom tower has fallen.
Except when he isn't.
Except when he isn't. So
Nugget of wisdom.
Roshan will respawn, and I don't think that VP has any idea that it's up. Oh, actually, nope. Cluckles. Good old Cluckles.
Cluckles, the MVP.
Scouting out Roche.
Well, Cluckles can scout out Roche. Elgato can solo him, so... Advantage, Elgato. Does the E have his E-Blade yet? No, he's so close, though.
Now he does.
E is pushing in top. AUI is actually lurking behind him in the tree line, but they have not gone for this Roche yet. Scythe, not yet ready for it, and just gets the Mystic Staff. Now NS rotates mid. They are close to their Scythe here. The Ember has a double damager up, but now the E-Blade comes out. And now the question has been, how many heroes can EE solo kill on this team? I actually don't know how.
Not Centaur. Centaur has Pipe.
Ember has a shield.
Not Visage, because he has Gravekeeper.
OD is mech.
OD is probably the best target, though.
AA gets caught out and pulled in really far. Arsart a bit out of position. The shotgun actually does one-shot the OD. Oh, EE finds the openings. Now the double damage Ember trying to do some work. They've already lost the axe as well. G might get a single kill here, but the Grave keeps him alive for ages and ages. Pylai die, well played. Now it's just clean up for the Morphling. 5 heroes dead. It's a team wipe. And Cloud9 are celebrating. They'll Nova some ground and
easy
mark
Roshan,
their territory.
or easy T1 in middle. Easy both if they really wanted to. And now VP's in a terrible position because they don't have a Scythe of Ice.
Well, the team fight recap agrees with you, so we know it's not broken. It's woken up from its 76-minute nap earlier today and ready to go. And this is, like you said, very, very bleak.
I mean, OD didn't even get used to any of these clips in that fight.
He just got one-shotted. He's, at this point, he needs the Scythe and he needs a BKB.
Yes.
And he probably needs a Force Staff because he's just not that mobile in the fights.
I think mech should have been reserved for
Axe can go mech as well.
Yeah, Visage or Axe. But on OD, with this sort of farm in this sort of game, he needs big items.
Well, VP wanted to 5-man behind the double Blink Daggers, the Centaur ult, and the OD mech, and just their good team fight from the Ember and the Visage, but they were just never allowed to. Always one step ahead of them was Cloud9, just very elusive. As I mentioned, I think the best team in the world at dodging fights. I don't think there's anyone better at just anticipating their opponent's movements and avoiding engagements when they don't want to.
Well, it looks like E is going for a kill. Is he going to scout out anyone, though? He has 20 seconds left on his replicate. Looks like AA might be the first target he sees. No, it will not.
Uh-oh, he's going to find Johnum here, but Johnum's quite tanky. Actually, just shotguns down the axe. Replicate's out. The hunter in the night, or in the day even. Eternal Envy is quite the predator.
So much damage.
The Waterman.
There's nothing you can do about that unless you're like insanely fast at blinking, but even then you usually can get the EB off before you blink.
It is not it's not a very long combo. It's like a quarter of a second at best.
Yeah, that was very well executed. He cast both the spells while he was in the waveform.
26 minutes in, and V is well on his way to his next item. 2,700 gold up. The Age is still online, and
I think you just ban Morphling second phase against C9.
gets Cloud9.
Yeah, it's definitely their playstyle. They run it very often, and Envy plays it very well.
They banned Luna, and I forget who the other hero was. It was not Mirana, though, because I remember she was still in the pool.
Yeah, Luna's not terribly scary because if they want to fight man, then they can go for it, and she can't farm as fast as a Morphling in this.
She's also much easier to gank than the Morphling. Well, there's a blink in lasso initiation from Bone 7. Shotguns available for Eternal Envy. Pops Illidan. Will he buy back is the question. Now the Ember Spirit slashing through. Good in the high ground defense, doing a lot of damage. The chop is there. Right through the grave it goes. And they're not done yet. More Slate of Fizz. VP holding their high ground. Shotgun thrown out, but they pop the Aegis. It's 4. It's going to be a team wipe, I feel. Can they get off the stomp? They need to time this one. Oh, it's a bit off the mark. Envy finds another kill. And then does replicate out to safety in the end. So it's a team wipe, except Envy had Aegis. So 4 kills for them and 3 kills going the way of Cloud9. But well defended by VP.
Very well defended indeed. Axe doing some work.
Look at that net worth change. Just like a 2,000 gold swing back VP's way.
Yep. But still, in the grand scheme of things, pretty minor. I guess 4,000.
The problem is the OD is well, he did get his Hex first, but he's I feel like as this game goes later, he's the one who has to be farmed. Has to get a BKB, maybe a 4-staff, Shiva's refresher. Like I feel like at least 2 of those items.
Yeah, he needs HP really badly. He's just getting blown up. Like even with the pipe on him, he still died very quickly. And even if he gets like magic resist or BKB, he can still die easily to Templar Assassin, who has been largely ignored for most of the game past the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game. And now she has Blink, Hand of Midas, and Dezzo, and 900 gold to boot. So not only do you have to worry about Morphling, you have to worry about the minus armor from the weave, the fleeting throw from a TA, as well as a TA just pretty much one-shotting people. Very close to, at least.
I gotta say, Axe was pretty key there, just made the Grave completely worthless, and that was what hurt them in the fight mid, was that they wasted a lot of time trying to kill off a Grave target.
Chop.
Yeah, the chop counters all. Well, Cloud9, they'll just keep on farming now. It's only 28 minutes in. They were like moving to end the game, but maybe a bit premature to force things so much. There's still a lot of room to grow on their core heroes.
At the same time, if VP had messed up in that fight, then they would have taken a rack. So I think the risk is worth it, because C9's they're not really going to lose the game. Even if they get 5-0'd right there, they just have to take a step back and drag the game on another 10 minutes and get the next Aegis and cheese, and then just keep proceeding from there. VP can't make a big mistake, though.
And like I said, just Cloud9 are just the masters of dodging fights. The only fights that they've lost are the ones that they've chosen to take. They have yet to be ambushed this game after the... I guess you can count the laning stage, the ganks there, but just their mid-game movements.
Yeah, there's like very minor deaths, like Dazzle on bottom, but those don't really matter. NS has a gem. He is tired of these wards. Oh, actually, it was Owie's gem.
And still the crouching healing salve is here. Keeping watch over the trees. It's an environmentally friendly salve. They just want to water some plants. Gold experience. Still a bit favored towards Cloud9 for now, but yeah.
They're so top heavy though, because Morphling's just massive, and he can... If OD were as farmed as the Morphling, then I think that BP would be in a pretty good spot. But since he's like 5,000 gold behind, which is BKB and then some.
Smoke, and this one might work. Cloud9 about to be caught out. Does Centaur get off a good initiation? He spotted them. He's too late on the blink stop. Arsart needs to speed up those reflexes. The lasso comes, drags him up onto a cliff. Morphling BKBs and just heads for the hills. The Centaur stopped there. He does pop his ultimate, but the fight gets a little chaotic from here. In comes the Ember, sleight of fisting through, connects on a few, but Envy just waiting for his move in. They've dropped the OD ult, the hammer deployed just to get the dazzle.
Nice defensive Astro by OD there. Saved his life against EE.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Not a bad fight, but they had to blow a smoke, so BP's
They actually used 2, because they used the 1 earlier as well.
Yeah.
So.
And all in all, it's just a 1-for-1, so not even a good fight for VP.
They just, if they gotten a better blink initiation from Centaur, the fight would have gone smoother, but...
Yes.
And he also didn't stampede until after he'd been pulled on the cliff. I feel like he should have just stampeded instantly. That's what you see, that's what we saw from Era last game. As soon as he sees the target, he stampedes and then goes. That way, no matter what, his team's got the move speed and you just have better initiation.
Yeah, the initiation is so crucial in these team fights. Axe has a blade mail. Ooh. He will find the familiars.
Oh, Envy. He almost found himself an NS with a gem as well. But barely unable to secure the kill. Well, back to farming. waiting for the next Roche. Both teams won it, but Cloud9 in much better position to take it. They're just they can force VP to run around like in circles chasing after them and then just replicate into the pit and kill it in about 5 seconds with this TA.
Yep.
Maybe 10. It doesn't take long though.
And Medallion.
Yeah, Medallion Deso, that's already minus 12 armor, and
Ember Spear's getting pretty big though. He almost has his Daedalus if it's oh, actually it's coming out on him right now. So he does have his Daedalus complete.
their problem is, can they kill like the core heroes though? We know they can kill the supports.
TA has Refract, so he'll be good for like if they try and burst him down with Sandy's Eclipse and Sleight of Fist, he should be okay at the get-go. So I don't think they'll be able to burst TA down. It'll be in the middle of the fight, and Morphling is Morphling. He has BKB. There's almost no way he's going to be caught out.
No way does Bone 7 force this. He'll just time out, park himself over the tree line, and calls the timeout. Says, sorry, are we going to have a long pause? Nope, looks like it was a miscue. Just needed a second. And we're back underway. Bone 7, will he go for a jump here? I feel it's more like Cloud9 just want to keep the lanes in, wait for the Roche timer. And they'll know when it comes up with this trap, so should be in good shape to take it.
Yep.
Do VP even have a smoke left at this point? No smoke for 2 minutes, none on their heroes, so that just makes it even more difficult to contest the Roshan.
Maybe TA was like a bait pick. It's like, hey, we'll draw your attention mid, so Morphling can get free farm. Like in retrospect, it wasn't a terrible pick, even though it doesn't match up well versus Ember.
Or X.
Or X.
In retrospect as well, though, if Illidan had played a little more greedy, he could easily be as farmed as the Morphling now. Like, having a mech is not helping him against the shotgun, but having something like a Force Staff could keep him alive in fights, could also help their team initiate better. And just gives them a little more mobility to get from camp to camp, farm quicker. Mech at this point is just like a, I wish this gold was spent on something else kind of item.
Yeah.
And he is actually going Lincoln Sphere. Not going for an early BKB. Well, not even early, but a mid-game BKB.
Yeah.
Roshan has fallen to the ground.
Oh, that was a quick Roshan respawn. That was like 9 minutes or something.
I still think he needs BKB because he can just like adapt to strike and then EB him, and then he's pretty much out of the fight for a good 5 seconds, and he can still die very easily. So, meh. They needed him to do a lot of damage. Ember alone won't be enough, unless he just crits everybody.
They need 2 strong pillars to hold up this house, that's for sure. Well, now your Morphling moves in. He's got a replicate. Actually, where is the replicate?
That's right next to him.
Oh. Oh, right behind him. And they'll look to push in top, but there's no tier 2 to be traded here, so Cloud9 will push the creeps all the way in. Maybe they rotate mid. Maybe they just go for a pick-off. And NS has to be cautious here. Envy can just wave in, maybe even just shotgun him and kill him instantly. Casual Vit Booster might be enough to keep him alive. I'm actually not sure.
It'll be really close. It's about that. It's about that area. I'd say his nuke does like 1400-ish damage. 13, maybe.
Yeah. You're living on a prayer at that point.
Yeah. They could use a pipe too. Oh, they have a pipe on Centaur.
Yeah. even with the pipe, they've still had trouble. Although make them move into the woods, but I believe NS was spotted. It's daytime, the creeps are there, and they'll just kind of try to scare Cloud9 back a bit. She's up on Sing Sing, and well, Cloud9 probably a few more minutes of farming and just looking for openings with the Batrider Lasso. Sure, they're strong at finding pickoffs, but they're not as good at breaking the base, and VP is that's where their strength is. If you clump up in this area or this area right near the ramp, they can hit you with everything. The hammer, the Centaur blink stun, the embers cleaving through. That is the ideal scenario for VP to mount a defense.
Yep, here they go, smoked up, looking to make some use of this Aegis. 4 minutes left on that. VP knows one bad fight, they're gonna lose the game.
Bone 7 leads the way, smokes on him, Sing Sing trailing behind. And the rest of Cloud9 are close at hand, but now it's VP's turn to smoke. If they run up mid, oh, this is where that Batrider might just be the death of
this Observer Ward too is gonna be pretty crucial if they engage right there.
The Observer Ward even pinged out. They saw it, but they're still going to make the move. Blink. Stomp connects. It's only on our side. Then the Centaur gets off at least. So they'll bring down the CM instantly to start the fight. Then the Axe finds a backline hero. It's Pylai Die. Can he get off the chop in time? He can chop right through this grave if he's low enough. They've brought down the TA. Chop completes the 3 kills. And Envy will have to scramble now with a Haster, and he'll need to start pushing out these side lanes.
Nice smoke. That's exactly what they needed. Last time they smoked, they traded 1 for 1. This time, 3 for 0. Nice pick off by them, and he used Stampede very early. If AA doesn't
no
die
buyback
like that,
on Batrider.
TA
Buyback on TA.
Yeah, he has cheese.
And buyback, no buyback on Dazzle. So 2 dead for 20 seconds. But it's only supports. Is it enough to break the base? I don't think so. There's a glyph up here. Maybe they want to force out a buyback. The Morphling's threatening for a shotgun. They'll go in with a Sleight of Fist. It's okay harassment, but not that scary. There's a Blink Stomp, but the Astral from Illidan's actually going to prevent it from doing anything. Now Bone 7 comes in, but 1 Sleight of Fist off with his head, says G. Let's finish him now. Well, there's a buyback from the TA, and she'll actually look to blink out. She TP'd in.
Very nice. Very nice by NS. The Batrider blinked, BKB'd, and ulted, and he was there immediately with a blink call so that no one got into the base. So there was a gem lost too. I don't actually know if anyone picked it up. Looks like the gem was picked up by Illidan.
Oh, no gem for Cloud9.
That was a big smoke. And now C9, they had to question how much longer they need to farm.
Oh no,
in order to get an edge.
They've seen Illidan here. Envy was prepping the shotgun, loading a few extra shells in, but not going to unload it just yet. I gotta say, it really sucks being a Visage player. Morphling just so mobile and so good at killing the familiars. And TA for that matter. They're assassins. And now VP, knowing they have Cloud9's gem, will hunt for some additional kills. They can kill AUI here with just the single familiar. He's being pursued, but if Envy's also waiting, yeah, it's not gonna work.
Later, Owie. He knows he's blocked.
He's got a 4-step though. Is he actually trapped in? They know Envy's here as well. They're going to look to force the issue a bit. Well, Envy's going to come in, pops the pipe, just starts going to work, but they do have some backup, but so do to Cloud9. In comes Stacey. Envy finds that first kill. The chop's there on the CM, but now they've isolated Jotum, and Illidan is just slowed by the sticky napalm. Now he tries to run, and he is not running. No 4-step, no Blink Dagger. Cloud9 are delivered a bunch of free kills, 3 in fact, including a gem. The only gem to survive with the axes. NS will make it out.
That was not worth it.
They saw Envy there. Like, even 2v2, that was a little and then when there were more heroes coming, it was just not a good trade.
Yeah, Morphling is massive. He has a Scotty at this point, too. But, I mean, they haven't killed the Ember yet, and Ember has 2 Battle Furies and a Daedalus, which makes high ground pushes a nightmare for C9.
Also, 4 buybacks on VP. They'll use 1 now. Quadruple buyback against an Aegis. Does Envy have his own buyback? He does not, so just the Aegis here. That 1 Sleight of Fists, it's like, I don't know if we want to push through. Even with 45. Oh, he's going for the shotgun on G.
1106.
Man. That's even Morphling with his 45, 43 armor just does not want to tango with this Ember spam.
Nah, an OD ult dropped on his face too. I guess he has a lot of int though. He has 109 int. Almost as much as OD. OD only has like, what, 138? 128? That's not that much.
Yeah, that's just an insane level of farm for Morphling to be up that much in on OD at this stage. He's also up 5 levels. That doesn't hurt either. Now regenerate for Envy and Cloud9. Maybe they wait for the 3rd Roche.
Why not?
I think they kind of need to, though. Like, honestly, if they have to fight their way through buybacks...
It's too risky not to.
Yeah. Yeah, basically that's the way to put it.
But Ember, he does a lot of damage. A lot.
I still don't feel like the OD's been a factor at all this game, though.
Nope.
It's like the way the game developed, you wonder if he had just been any other carry.
Yeah.
How would the game have developed?
I think it would have been a lot better for them if they had a normal carry.
Like, there was... Luna got banned, but there was Lifestealer, I think, was still in the pool. Not that good against bad, I guess, but...
Not great versus Morph, either.
Even a hero like KM, I mean, Cloud9 have 1 stun. Sure, it's a greedy draft, but this was a pretty greedy draft as well.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of any other carries that would have been, like, really good.
Well, they'd ban... Cloud9 banned the Drow.
Spectre, I think, would have been decent, too.
Yeah, Spectre might have been good.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the reason is like Morphling can make images of all these heroes, AM, Luna, Spec, and the replicate will be a big damage dealer in team fights. But with an OD image, it's like, but that's because OD doesn't do anything anyways.
You clearly weren't watching MLG Columbus, my friend.
No, not this OD.
No, yeah.
He needs refresher.
This OD doesn't have his Shivas. He's not. He's still going. I imagine he's going Linkage at this point, but it's just such an underwhelming item pickup. Maybe he lives a bit longer, but he's also just not doing much. It's just up to the Ember. Honestly, it's up to G. He's got to have big crits.
They could have used Naga. I don't know if Naga was banned out. Probably was.
I don't think so.
No? Naga would have been real good.
Maybe K-pop can confirm. They'll get the tower. Envy the Magician immediately replicates out.
Was Naga banned?
Was Naga banned?
I don't know either. I would assume so. Naga usually doesn't make it past that far.
VP is not really a Naga team, though.
Yeah, they played it last time, though. I think. Last time I watched them play. Less than a week ago.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen them run Naga. Bot 9, they'll work on the Roshan, and they'll take it with ease. Aegis Cheese goes their way, but
Roshan
we do have that. We do
to
start
the
to wonder:
dark.
is it enough? Is the Aegis and Cheese enough?
Well, only if Morphling gets 7 slotted, I think, are they like start to worry about how we drag this game out too long. But Morphling still has room for one more item.
BOTs and one more item could be the choice. For now, sitting on 3K gold.
BOT Butterfly. Oh, that would be devastating.
That's a lot of agi.
Yeah.
And he'll have 300 plus, I think, at that point. Well, not quite 300.
And none, like these two heroes don't get MKBs.
Actually, no, it would be like just over 300. Yeah, it's a. They don't have a single BKB either. So, still, there's no great way to deal with the shotgun. Pipe's alright, but Lincoln Sphere, I suppose. I guess maybe Illidan's thinking with the Lincolns is I'll just help keep G alive so he can do more damage, but I feel like what VP lacks is not AoE, it's like burst to kill a single target, like the Morphling. That's where the OD should be coming into play. They'll try and push. Cloud9, pop the Dazzle ult, group up and begin the assault. They have used the Lincoln Sphere on the Ember. Can be popped here just by an adaptive strike. Both Lincolns getting popped. Bit of a trade-off here. Nobody committing just yet. Bone 7 lurking on the low ground.
It's still really hard to push. Like, if the supports come close, they can get probably a 2-shot at this point. Dazzle does have a Ghost Scepter. What are Aui's items? Aui's, like, so far in the back, but he has 1100 HP, 9 armor. He will die to 2 Sleight of Fist.
He's pretty much just here to force staff someone away if they get in trouble, I feel.
Yeah.
That is AUI's only role at this stage. Lincolns get thrown out on G right as Envy waves in, and nobody wants to go. Don't want to go on Envy when he's got Aegis and Dazzle backing him up, but Envy doesn't want to overcommit either and waste the Aegis.
Yeah, you don't want to push into an Ember Spirit that's this stacked. Just lucky RNG crits will lose you the game.
The thing is, if Envy overextends, then the team has to run to help him, and that's where the crits just start hitting everyone instead of just Envy. First pick.
Dire's
Okay,
middle
let's go.
tower is under
By
attack.
Cloud9. Shotgun in,
Dire's
looking for NS.
structures are
BKB gets popped by
fortified.
Envy, but he's actually not hitting very hard with the pipe coming out. Envy doesn't do that much. BKB is running low. He's going to have to retreat soon. Just did about half damage to the range tracks.
Not bad. Eventually his BKB charge will be pretty low. It's only 6 seconds in. If they can't push with the Aegis Cheese, that means they're going to have to wait another few minutes. But to what end? I have seen Morphling get his Morphling have like, well, that was the Rapier game. I think it was Cloud9 versus Empire, I want to say. I don't remember which game it was, but pretty much Morphling just farmed the whole entire game. They were waiting for him to carry. Oh, it was for Sigma. Cloud9 for Sigma. Morphling farmed the whole entire game. He had 6 items, and then he had like 6,000, 7,000 gold. And eventually he just won Rapier, and then they lost.
Yeah, like use your BKB, drop it, pick up the Rapier, and then go.
He just had BKB. I don't remember what exactly his item selection was, but he had Rapier, and like it got to the point where Cloud9 was farming, but they couldn't make use of the farm because Morphling was already too big. First world problems. And like if that actually gets to the point where OD can get a refresher plus Shivas or whatever it may be.
I think if it goes that late, OD is the better carry though. Because he can just blow up the entire enemy team.
And double hex is way better than EB.
Yeah. But that is still a long way off. I mean, he's still got to farm Shivas and Refresher.
So push round 2.
That's like
BKB,
an 80-minute item,
BKB is up. They can certainly take out the range racks though. Actually Glyph is up, so maybe not.
While this was all happening, VP have done a good job of just pushing in the other lanes with the familiars. The Centaur's now there. So they
Even Axe has a heart. How did he farm that?
I do not know. Wow, look at those cleaves.
Yeah, see,
It's like having creeps here is almost a bad thing for Cloud9. There's more stuff to splash to. There's a blink. BKB last they focus on Enes. He's very tanky. They get the kill. He gets off the blade not the last second. A little bit too late. Does he have the buyback? He does not. This could be the opening now. They have no gem either. Not that it really matters at this point. Pushing through the base.
big pick by Batrider there.
Late game bats. Hero's just so legit. Goes in now on the G, and G will Remnant back, but that frees up Envy to start working the racks. However, they've hexed him. Oh, they force staff him, but he's not over the cliff just yet. Still has the Aegis, though. Still has the BKB available. Waving over the top. Now going to work on Illidan, who deselfed Astrals for the time being, wasting some time. Now out come the crits. They're just not enough damage yet. Live Refraction protecting him for now. Envy will lose his Aegis, but it's at the cost of the racks. And it could quickly fall apart from here. G, with that Desolator pickup, does he even have buyback? He does not. He's gone all in for one more damage item. Blink, Stomp is there. He's just not getting enough crits in this fight. He needs more. He's just melting the Sing Sing, though. Remnant's out immediately, but leaves his team alone, and they will die. Where are the crits? He's just not getting them.
He's the only damage dealer.
It's just so much pressure. And now the shotgun comes in, but the Linked Sphere protects that OD. Envy morphed up to 4k HP, still has 53 agi that he can morph, so just unkillable at this point, really.
That was a hard-earned Rex. They finally get it, though, and it was mainly because of Bone 7's pick on Axe. So, really nice play by Bone 7.
I'm not sure how much I like this late of a Desolator, though. This is like ultra late Desolator.
Yeah. I would just go another Daedalus. Screw it.
Another Daedalus. Maybe another Battle Fury, but Cloud9 aren't really clumping, so I don't know that Battle Furies are the way to go anymore. They just do such a good job of spreading. Like Envy's always in the front hitting the racks, and everyone else is just way back.
So Manta bought by Morphling, and he has 6,500 gold on top of that. He can go another BKB. Oh, did he buy it?
Isama, mercy please.
I thought he bought it and sold it. I guess he did buy it and sell it. Why did he sell it? I guess he won't have buyback money.
Oh, the Manta, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, just got the Yasha.
No, I saw him buy it. It popped up in the thing.
Okay.
I don't know why he sold it, though. Let's look at his gold. What? 3,000? Yeah, he won't have enough for buyback.
Soul Assumption. They'll break the Lincoln Sphere. But he just lets them know he's around. They go into Envy now. No, it doesn't have the Aegis, but there is a Grave on the backside. Out comes the Ember. That was a pretty good sleight of fist, but is it enough damage? Arsart getting focused in the tree line. He's isolated by Envy, but they are investing a lot in this kill. Still a double damage up on G, but just cannot quite find the damage. He does a lot to Envy, but it's not enough. Oh, gee, if he only had an OD backing him up. Unfortunately, he doesn't. And yeah, now Sing Sing finds him. Remnant will get the kill, tries to dodge that last auto attack with the Sleight of Fist. It's not enough, and meanwhile creeps are pounding through the base, and they'll even find Illidan on the way out. No lasso, but with these two here, oh, maybe Illidan turns around and just picks up some kills. They don't have any backup. I think they've bit off more than they can chew. Highlight die, dropping low. The OD ult's almost up there, kiting him nicely though, while Envy pushes through mid. Even if he gets the kills, he won't. He'll go down. And that might be it. Buyback on the OD, no buyback on the Ember Spear, dead for 60 seconds. That's probably game. Yeah, in terms of Radiant buybacks, they have 0. That's it.
TA's actually pretty good versus Ember, at least when it comes to pushing.
She just bursts him so fast.
And she doesn't take any sleight of fist damage either.
Yeah, she does get owned in the lane, we saw that, but works out well in the end for Cloud9. Looks like they're going to take it. This will put them at 10-3. GG is called. And Cloud9 are just a precious few wins away from a guaranteed trip to StarLadder Season 9. I think it's only 2. If they win 2, they're guaranteed in. If they win 1, then it comes to tiebreakers, possibly. But VP, with this loss, they're definitely not making it. 8-6. They always give a good run to these opposing teams. There's just not quite enough left in the tank to take the win.
Yeah, I think that's mostly on OD or even the OD pick. So he just didn't contribute as much as the Morphling. Morphling almost doubled his net worth at the end of the game and just was always a nuisance to VP.
Completely agree. Guys, if you've enjoyed this broadcast, be sure to follow Mr. K-Pop Tosis. He's been working hard all morning on the stats. Twitter.com/KpopTosis.